we got nothing but Visions. Visions Season 2. Alright, so literally, you take two of my greatest interests, two of my greatest loves. You got Star Wars, and you got anime. You put them together, and you got Star Wars anime. You literally have Visions, and I am such a fan of the first season of Visions. It really was different from what I was expecting, and I'm sorry, but to me, it's all canon. Yeah, I know. Visions is actually not canon, but what I really like about Visions is just the different art styles it takes. Now, granted, not all of Visions, some of Visions was really excellent. So others, well, the story was kind of like okay, but something that I really found interesting about was just little adventures taking place within the Star Wars universe. Not canon. We don't have to worry about sticking to the canon verse of Star Wars. No, we could actually just tell a complete, interesting one-off story that just kind of celebrates what Star Wars is at the same time, celebrates the magnificent, the amazing art that comes out of Japan. Japanese animation, I'm a huge fan of Japanese animation. I'm really into Naruto, My Hero Academia, I used to be into. Black Clover, I can't wait for the new season of that to come out, especially the movie on Netflix. And there's so many anime that I really like. Steins Gate, another great anime. So, literally, we are taking the best studios of Japan, and giving them a chance to tell their story within the Star Wars universe. And it is absolutely fantastic, interesting, and I have to say this, the animation blew me out of the water when it came to the first season. So, now we get to Season 2. And that is going to be what this video. I literally reviewed every single episode in Season 1, and I am going to review every single episode in Season 2 as well, because I am that much of a Star Wars and anime fan. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Okay, so here we are with episode 4, I Am Your Mother. Alright. Okay, legit, jokes aside, it was cute. Okay, one of my favorite movies, actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoyed this movie a lot, and that is Flushed Away, if you guys ever seen that movie. This has that type of animation, and I don't hate the animation. I find it really interesting. I find it coming from a time that really is different. But I have to admit this, the animation to me has always been ugly. I've never loved the animation. I always found the animation different and interesting, but I've never liked the animation. However, I always have liked the stories that those movies come out with that animation. So it's kind of a weird conflict to have with this animation. Okay, I have to throw some shade at the animation. I'm sorry, because it's just not the type of animation I like, and yet I always find that type of animation interesting. It's a weird conflict I have. But the story. Let's actually talk about the story. And the story was really, really basic. Then again, being basic isn't bad. Just because it was a simple story doesn't make the episode bad, but it definitely did hit my wow factor, and I was actually just, my entire expression during the episode was, huh? Yeah, just like that. That was my entire impression during the episode. I enjoyed the episode. The story was this little girl, this little Twi'lek, whatever you want to call it, this little girl, and she lives with her mother. There's this big family race that Wedge Antilles is apparently. Actually, I like the fact that they gave Wedge Antilles a little cameo in this. It was fun. But Wedge Antilles is hosting this big family race, and here we have this young pilot who goes to a big fancy piloting school now and everything. And when she was a little kid, she obviously loved flying around with her mother, but now she's getting older. Her mother is super embarrassing, and then the ship that they, of course, live in is a dumpster. I mean, it's not an actual dumpster. It's just well, a hunk of junk. Shoutouts to a hunk of junk out of the sky, right? That's from Star Wars. Like, I love the fact that everybody calls the Millennium Falcon, for example, like a big hunk of junk. But yeah, this ship really takes the cake. That ship was a hunk of junk completely, and I'm surprised that it even flew. It was rallying the entire time, worse than Millennium Falcon ever did, and somehow was still able to pull together and win the race. And then we have her mother, right? The mom is and she has a R2 mech dog? Really interesting design the dog was. But we have the mother, and you know, she's kind of embarrassing, so she doesn't want her mother to find out about the race, because if she finds out about the race, then they're going to race together, and she doesn't want that because she doesn't want to embarrass her. So, yeah, that's the whole situation. And then we got the average bully girl of the group that I swear, that clip when the Wookiee actually just you know did his thing. Yeah, I want to use that clip so bad because I know a word that they probably weren't allowed to say, that they comedically did the Wookiee sound instead of it. Trust me, yeah, she was that. She was absolutely that. She was a jerk. She was a jerk. That's the nice way of saying what I actually want to use. Yeah, her and her mother's hair looked like Darth Vader's helmet almost a little bit, so we had a little tie-in there, and then their ship kind of looked like Darth Maul's ship as well. I liked how fancy design it was. They were like the rich class, and she was just that rich bully girl kind of character. Yeah, and of course they think they're gonna win the day when actually it's her and her mother that wins the day. It's the Twi'leks that wins the day because of course they believe in each other. They actually, yeah. You know what? At this point, I'm just rambling on because I don't know what to talk about with this episode. Honestly, it was a good episode. I thought the story was good. The animation is weird, but my entire expression of this episode. Okay, so that was I Am Your Mother. I'm gonna go watch episode 5. I would give this episode, I'm gonna be nice and give it a 7 out of 10. It was really, really basic. Yeah, okay, bye.
Subscribe to Dylan's Little Hobbies right now.